Yeah. Pablo.
Okay, so I'm gonna find us on Facebook. So I can never see what's happening on Facebook. I always have to run my phone at the same time.
Oh, well,
so I have to, okay, there you are. Great, so we have a few people who are joining us right now, and I am going to, yep. Hi everybody, it's Jani. It's an interview with a real life client about her experiences with, oh, it doesn't put the title on there. Okay, so how's everybody doing tonight? I know that I'm just gonna give it a little while for people to get on, and I can see, make sure that I would appreciate you sharing this, and let me see if I can't, I'm just gonna have it down here. So I want everybody to meet Krista. Krista, everybody. Lisa's here, Sarah's here, another Sarah. Shannon, how you doing, Shannon? I'm looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks. So I thought these would work, but hi, JL, what's happening? I see you on there. Hi, Carrie. So one of the things that I had talked about with you guys on my page is explaining and interviewing people who have had experiences with me and what happened. So I think Krista's, you know, as you know, when I do sessions, I don't remember what I say because I just can't. I don't even, I mean, I barely remember my name. So, so everybody, please, a warm welcome to Krista. Krista, this is everybody, and there will be more people, and we'll post this on YouTube so that everybody in the whole world can see you.
Awesome.
Are you nervous at all?
Yeah, I never know where to look on these things.
That's okay. I think that if you look right at the I don't know, look wherever you're doing. Look at me. Okay, so Krista, why don't you give us a little rundown about kind of set the stage for us. What was it? How did you find out about me? Because I always get really curious about this because I don't. It's word of mouth or on Facebook, which is a limited audience, and I just am curious how spirit gets people to me. So.
I was sitting in my chair one night, just scrolling through Facebook, as I do sometimes, just to pass time. And I saw, let's see, it's hard to explain. It's my friend's sister's friend, who I happen to be friends with on Facebook. You know, like she's my friend now and she's totally cool, but like, I'm old enough to be her mom. I don't really see her that often, but I saw my friend, you know, a friend on Facebook liked your page, and for whatever reason, like that caught my eye because I don't usually see her feed in my page, but I saw it, and then I clicked on you, and then I just kind of looked at it there, and I think that was before you were going live a lot. Even I like couldn't get it out of my head, and so I kept clicking around. I looked on your website, and then I just kind of slept on it. The next day, I Facebooked you and made an appointment.
How long ago was that? How long ago because I feel like this was like 4 years ago?
I don't know. Was it 4 years? No, it was like 2 years.
It can't be 2 years because
Okay, you're right. 3, maybe it was almost 4 years ago, actually.
Yeah, almost 4 years ago. That's so I had been back from Colorado for about 3 or 4 years. About 3 years.
Oh my gosh, it's like it's so long, but not so long.
I know, right? It feels like it just goes by so fast, doesn't it? Yeah, it's like, oh wow, it's like 4 years has gone by.
And I guess I've had a lot of group readings at my house since. And
right. So, so you booked an appointment with me, and I know that I tell people this, like was it hard to make an appointment with me? Because sometimes it's hard to get a hold of me. I will say that.
No, and I think that was just one more reason. Like it was just like meant to be. Like I got a hold of you, and I think maybe I called or something, but I got a hold of you and then gave my name, and like I saw you like 3 days later.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was one of those things that I was super excited about, but I was also really, really nervous because I had been looking for someone that. I lost a daughter. She would have been 18 on October 18th this year. This would have been her golden birthday. And I lost her as an infant. And when she first died, I spent tons of money, looking for someone to connect me with her. And it was kind of like a bad habit I had. I'd go and I would see people and they'd be like, oh yeah, I can, yeah, there's someone here. And I was so eager to hear her that I would just like, I would feed them everything they needed to know. And then they would want to sell me things to put in my bathtub to take off my curse. And then I'd be able to hear her in my dreams or whatever.
So yeah, I just want to take a moment and talk about that for a second, because I really, every time that I can use a bit to educate anybody, I'm going to do it. If you have somebody who's saying they will light a candle for you every day for 30 days, or they will, for $500 pray over your name, or they will do anything like that, that is that is not somebody who's in the metaphysical business. That is a scammer. So be careful, because you what?
I found all of them.
You found all of them? That's so sad. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I was like perfectly right for that, because it was right after she died. I got away from that some, but I was still always looking for, I just wanted to hear from her again.
So true mediums and people who are delivering messages from spirit aren't going to do that. They're not going to ask you to, keep paying for something. So it's funny because people say mediums prey on people, but it's not mediums who prey on people. It's con artists. So I just want to make that distinction. So I'm really sorry that happened, Krista. And so 3 days later, I think I was still over at a different place, and I had
you were.
Yep.
And as I was pulling in, I was like, oh, it's this co-housing place. Like,
I know.
What am I getting into?
And who is this hippie I'm about to see?
Great, I'm going to go see a hippie. Although there's people that say that I was a hippie. So if I was finding hippies, it'd like be where I should be. But I was really nervous. And actually, as I was driving over, I thought, you know what? I really want to hear from my daughter. And with my luck, my friend's mom is going to come through.
Okay, be careful. I just want to interrupt you for 1 second, because wherever you're hitting on your phone or computer, it's hitting the microphone. So they're getting a lot of feedback. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't think I was, all right.
I don't know what just happened, but a lot of noise. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that, because I want people to hear your story. Okay. So you show up in the hippie commune.
I show up at the hippie commune, and I'm thinking on my way in, like, I want to hear from my daughter, Brianna, and it's probably going to be my friend Deborah's mom that's going to come through. That's going to be my luck. She's going to be real, but I'm not going to hear what I want. So I go in, and we go into like this common area, and you lit a candle, and you explained all the stuff you do to, how you do what you do. And like my heart was racing, I was really excited, but I was really nervous. And then you said, there's a mother energy here, at which point, because of all my experience with all the scammers, I was like, in my head, I thought, like, thank God I didn't pay her yet, because my mom's not dead. And so I was like, well, yeah, my mom's not dead. But then I thought about it, and I was thinking about my friend's mom. And then actually she said, your other mother, think. And that's what my friend Deborah's mom always called herself. She referred to herself as my other mother. She looked over me like a mom, and you explained her to a T. And she, even an experience that I had with her while she was in the hospital, like shortly before she died, like she explained all that. And she also was very bossy about like who could and couldn't tell me things. Cause I had a lot, in addition to my daughter, I had a lot of other things that I wanted to know, that she said, I didn't need to know. Just what will be was que sera, sera, which is something she always said. So.
Oh, she always said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool. I mean, that's that's how spirit does a lot of validation, right? Like I always say this, I don't live anybody else's life, because if I did, I wouldn't be able to exquisitely mess up my own life. Like all humans do, because we do stuff and then we learn, and then we adjust, and we expand, and we do a lot of other things. So I loved it. So when I que sera, sera, that she would say that is yeah.
She did.
Just a little bow. That's like it's such a great validation. I guess we didn't really talk about. Right, it got better. We didn't really talk about this, other than you said, I want to do this. So, okay.
Yeah.
You have my attention.
All right. And then, because again, I hadn't, like, you didn't even know my last name. You didn't know anything about me. I just showed up. And so my friend, my other mother showed up, and then you said, there's a young spirit here. And of course my heart's racing. So I'm like, I want to be like, oh, is it my daughter? Is it my daughter? But that's what I did every other time. And so I was trying to like play it cool.
Good.
And you said, she said she liked her other name better.
Hmm.
And my daughter was born with a congenital heart defect. Sorry, I'm going to cry.
It's okay.
And I called her Hope. That was
Mm.
her name until about a month before she was born. And I was at a fetal echocardiogram. And the nurses, when they asked what I was going to name her, I said, oh, her name's going to be Hope. And they were like, oh, no. You can't name her Hope. You can't name her Hope. No heaven, no faith, no Nevaeh, no grace. None of those churchy names, because it gives the surgeons the heebie-jeebies. You got to change your name. And so I did. I changed her name to Brianna. Hope was still her middle name, but her name was supposed to be Hope Noel. She got changed to Brianna Hope. And so when you said I liked my other name better, that was just like, I just had goosebumps up and down my spine, and like every hair on my body was standing on end. And I was like, it's my Brianna, because not very many people knew that story.
Right.
It's not something I had written about, or it's not something I told a whole lot of people about. You know, it's not something that you could just randomly pull out of nowhere.
It's not Reddit. It's not on Facebook. It's not on whatever.
Right.
The Ubes of tubes.
Right. And it was very specific. I mean, because when she was in my belly, I called her Hope every day. And I would tell her like, Hope, don't worry. We're going to, we're going to get through this. Everything's going to be okay. And, yeah, so I called her that.
I just love you. You're just so brave for sharing that. That took a lot of courage. So thank you, Krista. I really, thank you.
You're welcome.
We should put up like an intermission break. Be like, we will be right back.
Well, and then one of the things that's awesome about you is you like are able to validate, like our spirit helps you validate that they are who they are. And so like it started with the name, which was a pretty heavy hitter. And then you said, she's showing me something and it's like this.
Uh-huh.
She's doing this. And she's like, and there's light behind it. And then you looked at me like I was a little crazy. You're like, do you have her urn like on a lit up pedestal or something? Like it's on your nightstand and she likes that you have it. And then I'm going to show you this. Actually, it's not on my nightstand now. It's on my dresser, but.
Oh, we get it. We get a tour.
Yes. Look.
Oh,
there's
the thing.
Yep. This is the thing. It's shaped like that. And, I guess she's actually an ex-friend now, but a friend of mine at the time, at my request, took all the flowers that people had sent me when she passed that were at her funeral and dried them for me. And I put them in the base of that lampshade, or in the base of that lamp. So like I'd always have them with me.
Right.
So that was wow number 2. And then you said she's holding 4 fingers in front of her chest. And you looked at me again, almost like you were going to cry. And you said, did she have 4 surgeries on her heart? And she did. Before she was a month old, she'd had 4 open heart surgeries. And it was just like, that's how I knew that you were the one that could, help me heal, really, because see, I still cry about it. It's
you never get over the loss of a child. It's just, you just don't. You find a way to move into the next day and the next day. And when I talk about that, it is the reality. There is nothing worse in this life than losing your child. So I'm saying that to let people know you can walk away if you want to, Krista. You don't have to. You can go get a cup of water or something. You're good? Okay. Yeah. I don't want you to feel like you have to sit.
No.
Okay.
And then, she went on to tell me, like, she was so proud of me when I chased the doctors around the nurses' station. And I did, because I was really mad at them because, I'm a medical expert. So I thought they weren't doing things right.
Oh, right.
They weren't listening to me. So a nurse let her get really sick. So I always knew when she was going to get sick, and she didn't listen, and I wanted her to get in trouble.
Did she get in trouble?
The nurse, she wasn't allowed to take care of her anymore.
Oh, good. Good,
Yeah,
good,
it
good.
wasn't her primary care nurse. It was another one that I didn't really care for. And when I tried to tell her that she was going to be sick, she didn't listen, and she wound up on ECMO for a second time that night. So
I'm so sorry.
mm,
So
she was tough. But then, I mean, then you were able to go on and say that like she's with me all the time. Oh, and she said she's showing me something that you have that you smell, which probably to you, if you would remember it, thought it was really strange. But I do. I have her blanket, and I swear,
oh
even though it's 18 years old, I can still smell her on it.
yeah.
So you just had all these things that you could tell me, and you could also tell me that it was okay to do them.
Yeah,
It was with
right.
me. Yeah.
Because it's some of the things that can happen when you experience a loss is that you think that what you're doing is wrong, or you
Or
think like,
crazy. People would tell me
yeah,
I was crazy. Yeah.
people would tell you you're crazy.
Someone in particular. Yeah. They didn't
Yeah,
like
so
the
I
way.
will tell you what, if there's a mother out there that lost their child or a father and anybody calls them crazy, let me know, okay? Because it doesn't work that way. And I will be your advocate, because it's just an intense sense and an intense being when you lose a child and you try to get up and you move every day into whatever you are doing in this world, whether it be sitting on the couch or walking the dog. You carry that pain with you. I am so glad you found me, Krista, and I'm
I am
always,
too.
yeah, I always know that wherever I go and whatever I do, it is because spirit is bringing people to me or showing people to me. And Krista and I have a fantastic friendship that has blossomed out of of being really close in readings. And I've gone and done a bunch. I mean, what I've gone and done a bunch of groups at your house.
Yeah. And then I've told so many people, like when I left your house that first day, the first thing I did was call my friend Deborah. I'm like, oh my God, your mom came through. I want to, because she knew I was going, because Deborah's, I call her my super friend. She supports me in whatever I do. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Medium and maybe I'll hear from Brianna. And I was like, or I'll probably hear from your mother. And we both kind of laughed because her mom was kind of bossy like that. And sure enough, her mom was the first one that came through. And but then shortly after, then Deborah went to see you, and then like my friend Heidi came to see you. Well, both of my friends, Heidi, and everyone that has had experiences with you has just been so amazed by your gift, and so thankful that you're able to share it.
Well, I want to say that I'm just seeing if anybody has, if you're watching and you have any questions for Krista or questions for me, please definitely. These are supposed to be glasses that I can see something. Okay.
Just for fashion.
These are my fashion glasses. These are very, anyway. And it's funny because we were reminiscing. I was like, before I got on here, I said, Krista, do you remember when I was at your house and I mooned the people that were sitting at the others?
And that was a whole new group of people too. It wasn't like my friends that had seen you before. That was one of the parties where it was like all new people.
I just knew, like, at the second it happened, I didn't realize it, but then I you could just feel the energy, and I was like, oh, did I just moon? Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. It was so embarrassing.
But everyone still loved you, and you still delivered great messages. So even if you did moon, you still did.
Anything can happen when I show up. That's the truth. And Absolutely. I say that every time and you have seen that, I'm sure, because how many groups have I done? Like 4 or 5 with you over with a bunch of people?
At my house? Yeah. I've probably done at least, I would say probably 5 or 6 just at my house. And then I've been to many that you've done at my friends' houses, because if I have a chance to hear something from spirit through you, then I'm like, yes, sign me up, I'll be there.
Right. And I never know what's going to happen prior to doing a session. I just never know. I just and it's so, that's actually like really good. I work really well that way, because I don't have particular ways that things have to happen or they have to come through. And I'm sure you've seen me being incredibly tenacious. I won't give up.
Yeah. And you actually, like, you always start your groups by saying, you don't get, and actually even your one-on-ones, you don't always get what you want, you get what you need. And I was at a friend's group reading, and my grandmother came through, and she gave me a message that really I probably didn't want, but I definitely needed. And I won't go into that because it was really personal, but and usually like if you have a really personal message, you'll pull people in a side room, but I think this was a message that I didn't want, but a lot of my friends needed to hear to hold me accountable to it, which they did. And it kind of like gave me the strength to do what I really needed to do. So that was one of those incidents where I didn't necessarily want it, but I definitely needed it. And I'm actually on a much happier path because of it now.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, here's the truth is like, you know, and it's very, very true. If I am getting a word from spirit that it's sensitive, I will zip you right out of that room quicker than you can like blink and be like, you're like, I don't know. Do I need to go to the room? And the answer is always yes. If I'm saying, let's go to another room.
And you've done that to me before.
Yes.
Gone to another room. But this time something that I would have been like, why didn't you tell me this in another room? I needed you to not tell me in another room, because then my friends wouldn't have heard it too. So
it's did I at all bring up the idea of going to another room, even though it was so personal?
No. You went, as a matter of fact, you came at me with an intensity that I had never seen before. It was very different. My grandma was talking to you through spirit, and
I guess like spirit just kind of takes hold of what's happening. So
and if you would have been like, Krista, then I would have like, my granny took over her body, because you sounded like everything you said was exactly the way she would have spoken to me, and she was pretty adamant about what needed to be done, and she didn't want you to take me into another room. She wanted everyone to hear it so that I do something instead of just sitting. I mean, you put all my laundry out into that living room.
Sorry. So I guess you should know that anything can happen.
Yes. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was what I needed.
Isn't that is amazing. And I have seen people who have, I've come to groups that I would do at Sal's, and I've seen this particular man, woman. I'm not even telling you if it's a man or a woman, because it's so personal. And I've seen this woman, man, woman, probably 8 different times. And on the 9th time, I took them aside because Spirit told me to, and delivered a message that they finally were ready to hear. So that's also a piece to it, right? Like, if you weren't probably ready to hear anything your grandma wanted to say when I first met you.
No, because that was probably like my 5th or 6th interaction with you. And the thing is I had known at that point that the things you say are real and relevant, and things I had always needed to hear. Like, I needed to hear that Brianna was with me. I needed to hear that the things I do are okay. And
sorry, I was reading some of the something's up with these glasses. Sorry.
They're fashion glasses.
No, they're supposed to be like they're like the progressive glasses. They're supposed to like make things bigger. So it's like you have to be at the correct angle or something, which that means that I have to live by a rule. I mean, you're hearing me, right? Like, I don't do really well with rules. So Lisa Case Grisha's Jani.
Oh.
Krista is the one that told me about you. So glad she did. That was very nice, Krista.
Yes.
You helped me tremendously. When I came back to see you, I had such a heavy load on my shoulders, and the load was lifted when I left. I felt like I was sitting at the table with my loved ones. It really gave me a sense of peace. I still have a little ways to go, but helped me with so much. Oh, that's so sweet.
It just gave me goosebumps.
I know, that's so sweet. That's just adorable sweet. So I guess what I was going to say then is, what would you, well, it wasn't hard to make an appointment. It kind of is a lot harder to make an appointment now.
You're a lot more practically famous now.
I'm a lot more practical, hippie.
Practically famous.
Practical famous, but not famous at all. And that's fine. I don't really want to be famous.
Everybody, book your appointments now.
Book your appointments, because it's starting to get incredibly busy. It's starting to get busy. So I am now booking into October, I think. October, November. So, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to say? What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I just wanted to say, everyone, like I said, everyone that has seen you, because I sing your praises. I always call myself the like walking Jani billboard or whatever. I I haven't had anyone that's come to see you that's been like, she was okay. Like everyone's like, oh my gosh, it was I mean, I've had groups where it was my close friends that I know all their business too. So I'm amazed with them. But I've also had groups where it was people that I knew, but it was just weird. You always say, groups of people gather together for a reason. And I've had those groups too, where I knew some of the people, but they brought a friend who I didn't know. And it was just, everyone is just like jaws on the floor and can't wait to see you again. So
yeah, that is so true. I say that to everybody because usually one or two people or an extra person will show up or an extra person will leave or somebody will be like, you know what, I can't do it. I trust it. I don't worry about it. I don't, I'm not like, gotta check all my boxes. I'm not like, okay, that's fine. Because they're not ready for it. And I trust that the way spirit shows up to them and for them is absolutely the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And when I found you, it was like, exactly, it was what I needed when I needed it. And I wouldn't change it for the world. So
that's so awesome.
If spirit leads someone to you, then they should definitely listen to that call because you could help them out a lot.
Oh, Krista, you are so sweet. I just love you.
I love you too.
You have a heart of gold, a heart of gold. And does anybody have any questions out there? I don't see any questions.
Okay.
I'm taking a look. Oh, you made a huge impact on my husband who's a non-believer. I'd love making husbands be believers.
I've seen you do that before.
Granted, it's not what that's definitely not my calling. But I always say it's better to see me when you're alive because then you can course. I mean, this is like course correction. See, it's a lag. It's a course correction, right? It's how do you, and this is what I say, it's how to live your biggest and highest life that you can possibly live right here, right now.
Right. Your best life. And
best life.
Spirit had me find you when I found you because it's put me on a path that my life is getting a lot better. So yeah. Thanks, Jani.
So you are living your best life now, though.
Well, I think it could still get better, but it's a lot.
Okay, wait a second. Let's back it up, chick. We're not airing your stuff here.
No, we're not airing my stuff. But
we're not airing your stuff.
Don't go there right now.
But you are living such a bigger, more full and present life than you ever did before.
It's a lot happier, yeah.
And you're a lot happier.
Yes.
You smile way more and way easier.
Yeah. And my fantastic. Kids laugh. And yeah.
Yeah. And you're a great mom. You're a fantastic mom. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. That's okay. So
everyone book a session with Jani.
Book a session with Jani.
Do a group reading.
Do it, but this is what I'm gonna say. Be patient. Be like, Jani, this is maybe my second, third, or fourth time trying to book a session. Just know that, I'm small, I'm getting bigger, I'm onboarding an assistant, and there's gonna be things that are gonna start to like move like clockwork, but I've got to like get into moving like clockwork, which it hasn't happened yet, but it's gonna. It really looks cool, didn't it?
This is not a clock, but
it's an upwards waterfall. So we're in the middle of beauty happening in and around us and making sessions and aura sprays and other stuff. So I love you, Krista. I won't hold you up because we're going to do one more thing afterwards. You and we're going to end this live and then we're going to go to another live.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, I know where we're going.
If you're ready to do that, are you ready to do that?
I'm ready. Yeah. Ready if you are.
I'm ready. All right.
Okay.
Bye. Oh, wait, you know what? I got to say see light, be light. And I got to say, you can email me at JaniCooke, JaniCooke @gmail.com. You can also call me 720-514-9724. You know what's really funny is that in the beginning, nobody can even see you, babe. in the beginning, a friend of, I should say, well, I guess I'm just gonna, I'm flailing for words right now and what I'm gonna say. I would give my phone number out, thinking it was my number, and I was giving somebody else's phone number away. And they would have to say, Jani, you gave them my phone number. You need to call them. So that's how far I've come, is I now know my phone number. So
That's impressive.
it's the little things in life. Okay.
Absolutely.
See light, be light. I'll check you later. Thank you, Krista.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you coming on here tonight.
No problem.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.